Hi guys, so back at it again. Episode 2 part C. Yani, the level of feedback I'm getting, I'm just amazed. And I think I'm going to use amazed a lot, so don't mind me. Thank you guys. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your feedback. I really do appreciate it. Continue watching, sharing with your friends and your family. I love to hear from everyone of all ages. Like, I just want to hear from everyone and what you think about stories and conversations, because I'm bringing these stories to you, and obviously I'd want you to resonate with them. So let me know what you think about this episode and the previous episodes in the comment section. I can't wait to hear from you guys. So here we go, part C, episode 2, the last part of this episode. And for this one, I'd love to talk a bit more about the recent or the last employer that I had. And I'll also talk about the challenges that I've had in my career space, and then what I'm looking forward to, because obviously with the end of one season begins another. So I'm going to be sharing what I'm looking forward to, the opportunities that I'm getting, and where we go from here. So after the last, from the last episode, the last part that I mentioned, I believe, was about the prestigious organization that I was able to be a part of, what I contributed in terms of my marketing skills. That's where I learned that I had the passion of creating content, because I did a lot of social media, digital media marketing, and I did so much of marketing, and I enjoyed all the aspects of marketing. And that's what is making me even do what I'm doing today, content creation. So let me tell you, there's nothing that happens in your life that is off chance. So appreciate every moment, appreciate every season, appreciate every opportunity, whether it's good or bad, because it will definitely shape you to the person that you're going to be in the future. So after I left now this prestigious organization, I joined a healthcare company, and I actually joined as a volunteer, guys. Like, I joined as a volunteer because when I left this other organization, I resigned and I joined this other organization, and I joined as a volunteer because I was just drawn to the vision of the organization, the vision and the mission of the organization. It really drew me. And one of the visionary leaders there, I remember he spoke to me during the orientation, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is what I have been missing all my life, and I'm glad I'm here. And that was the minute I was sold. And I told myself, I'm going to be in this organization for quite a long time, and I can't wait to just be a part of it and contribute and make a difference in the world, because they have the social impact arm, which is something that I'm also passionate about. So I was sold. And the amazing thing is, you remember, guys, in episode 1, and if you've not watched it, please go back and watch it. I talked about wanting to become a doctor, my dream of becoming a doctor and being part of the medical field. So when I got this opportunity to volunteer in this organization, I was like, it's just, a 360. I'm back to where I started. So getting back into the healthcare space, working for this organization, volunteering my time to this organization, and I loved it. So with my dream that died, it came back to life in this healthcare space. And also my marketing ambition and my marketing motivation to just do the best that I can to actually push this organization to the heights that it needed to go to, using my marketing skills. And I did that during my volunteer period. And during this period, obviously, I met an amazing a group of people, both on the external side, so external stakeholders and also the internal stakeholders. And my supervisor was actually the best. He actually saw me and saw the potential that I had, and he gave me these opportunities, and I really enjoyed it. It was such an amazing time. So after my volunteer period was up, an amazing thing happened, and this organization could not just let me go, and they thought I have so much to give, and they gave me an offer. So the offer they gave me was on project management, so I decided to take it up. I mean, why not? I'm back into the healthcare space, I'm doing what I love, what I'm passionate about. So let's do project management, and I was sold, I was in. So I did. I was a project manager for that organization. And I did quite a bit of things during my time, or during the time I was in that role. I met such professionals. I interacted with different stakeholders in the healthcare industry. I understood the challenges in the healthcare industry and why the things are the way they are in the healthcare industry, especially on the private side, in the private sector, because that's where I was playing a role. And it just opened my mind, and it opened me to all these things that we are grappling with as a society in Kenya in the healthcare space. And it just gave me this passion and this ambition to actually think more about this and to pursue this more, and to actually hear all these stakeholders out. So these stakeholders will be the individuals who access care, healthcare, the private insurance providers, and also the private healthcare practitioners or the facilities. And I really enjoyed being in this space, and I knew I wanted to do more. I really knew I wanted to do more. And the good thing is, this organization gave me the opportunity to now move a step higher now to business development and strategic partnerships, where I was now talking one-on-one with the stakeholders and getting to hear more about their issues and their challenges. And with the solution that this healthcare company had or has, I was able to come up with propositions that would address these challenges and would create opportunities for accessibility and affordability of healthcare to be accelerated in this market. And I really enjoyed it. It made me come alive. I was so passionate about it. And my former colleagues will actually tell you, and some of them who are my friends will actually tell you that I was so passionate to a point where I was even becoming so animated when I give comments about things that we can do, things that we can collaborate on with certain partners. It was so amazing. I really, really loved it. And I just enjoyed it. And that's where I figured out that's where my purpose is. That's where part of my purpose is. So my purpose in life is to enable the improvement of people's lives in any way, mostly in the financial way, the social way, and also in health, so holistically, so enabling the improvement of people's lives holistically. And this organization gave me that opportunity to do that, because I mean, when you are able to give individuals the opportunity to have accessibility to affordable healthcare, then it protects them from financial challenges that might come up, because we all know that access to healthcare in Kenya is such a low rate. So for me, having that opportunity to create these propositions that will enable low-income groups and vulnerable communities to actually get access to healthcare was just amazing. It made me come alive. I really, really, really enjoyed it. And the conversations that I had with the different stakeholders, the different influencers in the healthcare industry was just amazing. Going for forums where we were discussing these things very openly and thinking about ideas on how to improve, this was just something that I was sold out to, and I really, really loved being a part of. And so obviously you guys are aware that I left this organization and it was time for me to leave. I had contributed everything that I could to this organization, and I left with no regret. I actually left on a high. And if you read my posts on my profiles, you can actually see the amazing things that I was able to do, what I contributed to this organization, and I just enjoyed being a part of it. And now that has been my career life so far. So 10 plus years in the different industries, and I really, really have learned a lot. I've been shaped so much, like my thought process, meeting different people, learning new things, learning new ideas, thinking out of the box. One thing about me, I am not a person who is set in certain ways. Like, you cannot tell me to do this and I do this. I always love challenging the status quo. I love thinking outside the box, and this obviously was not accepted by everyone, which is quite understandable, because we were in a dynamic environment. But that's me, that's who I am. I love thinking outside the box. I love doing different things because it just makes things different. And I mean, you can't be the same. You have to stand out. I mean, you guys, we know that. I mean, you're told, you read all these self-help books, and it's always about standing out. So for me, I love standing out. And that's one thing that was instilled in me by my parents, especially my dad, to be different, to stand out, to do the best that I can, to be excellent in everything that I do. And that's what I purpose to do in everything that I do, in my career, in my personal life, in my relationships. That's what I do. I give everything. I give my all. So that was my career journey. But I mean, I know I've shared the good parts, and I know you guys have enjoyed hearing the good parts. But let me tell you, my career journey has been the most tumultuous. It has been, hey, when I think about it, it's just something else. But honestly, I really appreciate every phase that I went through in my career journey, because I will not be here. I will not be sitting here sharing my story with you guys. And this is where I get the energy. This is where I get the motivation to share with you this story, because it has not been easy. Like, I've shared my good experiences, but then it was equally followed by, or it was equally accompanied by a crazy and tumultuous season of my life. Like, it was, the 10 plus years have been really crazy. So the challenges I have experienced, obviously, I've had supervisors who are not supportive, who stole my credit. I mean, being a woman, and being Black in certain organizations, especially international organizations. And I know this is controversial, but I'm going to talk about it. It's not easy, and people feel intimidated when they know you're better than them at one thing. And that's the thing about life. You'll always meet people who are better than you in one thing or the other. Instead of fighting them, learn from them, guys. Like, learn from them, because you'll always learn one thing or the other. So that was one challenge that I faced as a woman and being Black. Obviously, in the international organizations, it was not easy. And then this is one theme that is there in majority of corporate organizations: politics. Guys, let me tell you, I do not know how to play politics. I do not. I have tried, but because I am a straight shooter, because for me, if something does not work out for me, I will say it as it is. I have not had it the easiest way. So I don't know how to play politics. I tried to learn it. My friends, my former colleagues who become my friends, tried to teach me how to play politics, but I just couldn't. Obviously, there's the good politics where you have relationships with people, and you want to have certain conversations with certain people so that you influence certain agendas. That is positive politics, if I can call it that. But on the negative side, where there's petty politics, where there's selfish leadership, where people just want to steal your credit, people want to look like they're better than you, so they sabotage your work. That to me is just petty politics. It's not necessary. And the thing about that negative aspect of it, it brought around so much turmoil in my life. And I ended up, obviously, my health was compromised. My health was severely compromised in different organizations. And obviously, it's not something that I hoped for, and I wish that it never happened, but it did happen, and that's the reality. And I'm not the only one who's going through it. There are so many people who are going through it in the corporate organizations, where there's petty politics, there's sabotage, stealing of credit, where there are unsupportive leaders, selfish leadership, and people are suffering. The environment is so toxic, you're not able to do your best. I'm a creative. So if you already put all this on me, and there's all this going on, obviously my creativity side dies. And it died in some of those instances, yeah? And it was not the easiest of places. I was there are times I used to cry and I used to ask God, why am I in this situation? But now looking back retrospectively, I actually appreciate those moments, because if it was not for those moments, I will not be here where I am. And the good thing is, right now, I believe with all the recognition that I'm getting, and I'm so thankful to the Angaza Awards, to the Great Leaders Council for the awards that I've recently received. It just validates everything that I've done in my life so far. And I've shared this in a post before. I have never been recognized in my career journey, ever, like recognized. But it didn't deter me. I was determined, and I said, even if I don't get the accolades or the awards, I'm still going to give my best. And I gave my best in every little thing that I did. Every little thing that I did, every big thing that I did, I gave my best. And I'm so grateful to where I am today. And in terms of looking forward, I'm definitely looking forward to a great season ahead of me. I'm going to be advising or playing an advisory role for some of the startup healthcare companies, because that's one place that I'm really passionate about, growing organizations through business acquisition or strategic partnerships. I'm going to be working with some stakeholders in the healthcare space to bring out, all these conversations that need to happen to influence change in this industry, because this needs to happen. I think we talk a lot, and I do talk a lot. I've been talking a lot, and some of us talk a lot, and we go to these forums and conferences, and we have all these brilliant ideas, but most of the time they don't get to see the light of day, because we just talk about it and we do not implement, or we wait for other people to implement. But that is something that I really want to do in this next season of my life. I want to be a voice of influence in this healthcare space, not just in Kenya, but the rest of Africa. And I hope to see a lot of stakeholders coming together and supporting this ambition, supporting this drive. I can't wait to partner with these healthcare providers and stakeholders in the healthcare industry. And as obviously, these stories and conversations, I will be talking a lot more about, my career journey in episodes where I will get to interview different stakeholders, the individuals or the companies and the organizations that are or have the ambition to accelerate this mission, this vision of creating accessible and affordable healthcare. I'm going to be talking to some of these individuals who are at the helm of those organizations, just to get their perspective, because sometimes we think one way, but then sometimes we are opened up when we have conversations and we learn more about certain topics. So that's what I want to do. So Stories and Conversations is here to stay. I'm going to be talking about mental health in the workplace. I'm going to be talking to women leaders. The conversations are so many. It's so broad. I just want to talk about everything that has affected my life, that is part of my life. And I want you guys to go on this journey with me. You're already on this journey, so continue walking with me. I'd love to hear what you would want me to talk about. Anyone who wants to reach out to me to be part of this conversation, I am open and willing, and I can't wait for us to be together in this journey. So those are the two things. And then obviously I'm passionate about social equity, so being involved in social enterprise development, that's another passion that I have, and obviously advocating for mental health and wellness. So all those things I'm going to be talking about one way or the other. So look out for all these conversations. Follow me on my profile, on my personal profile, and also Stories and Conversations profiles. I can't wait to share all this with you, and looking forward to hearing back from you on what you think and how we can grow these conversations further. Thank you.